Istanbul, Turkey's cultural centre and gateway to the East, where Europe and Asia collide. In a city where cultures clash on a daily basis, it's no surprise that Istanbul is also home to one of the most ferocious games in world football. Fenerbahce against Galatasaray.
The Istanbul derby is incredible. I'm a Galatasaray fan, but if there was no Fenerbahce, it wouldn't be right. I can say I'm glad they exist.
We don't like them. I mean, not like we hate them, actually. The most important thing in my life.
Right from the beginning, this game has been so important in Turkey. I mean, we don't know any other derby, just Galatasaray Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce is an Asian team, Galatasaray the people's team. With a proud 100-year history.
Like you can walk around the city when you, like your head up, you know. You feel it in your blood. You know that you are not losing.
They are both teams who've achieved so much in Turkey, the two biggest teams in the country. Conflict is always expected in these matches, and that's what makes it a real rivalry. It's one of the most important derbies in world football.
The reason this derby is regarded so seriously both in European and in world football is because of this 100-year rivalry. And it's continued with the same intensity.
You get the feeling there are two championships here, one the actual league, and the other the matches against Galatasaray. I think it's a huge rivalry. One of the biggest that I've seen in my career.
It's very big. It's unbelievable. Football is a religion in Turkey, and especially in Istanbul with 3 teams in one city. So it will be a big fight again.
There was a great deal of hostility in the games, not so much from the players. You know, there was no outrageous challenges, there was no ridiculous things went on the pitch, but certainly amongst the supporters, you know, there was real bad feeling between each other.
Thursday, May the 17th, 2007. Fenerbahce had just won the Turkish Superliga. Their next game would be against bitter rivals Galatasaray.
It will be like winning another championship. We had some good title-winning celebrations, but I'm sure there'll be some more if we beat Galatasaray. We're going there to win a different sort of title, because we know beating Galatasaray is always a unique feeling.
In their previous game, they sealed their triumph with a late draw against Trabzonspor. It was their 17th title, overhauling Galatasaray's total of 16 league wins. And while celebrations were uninhibited, the focus was still only on one thing: beating Galatasaray the following week.
We've done what we had to do, and nothing can take that away. But we know the importance of this game. We know what a win against Galatasaray represents, as much for them as it does for us. So we'll play seriously and properly, as if we still needed the 3 points.
As the players prepared ahead of the derby, there was still much at stake. This is a century-old rivalry that divides the entire city. Losing the derby could effectively tarnish an otherwise impeccable season.
Galatasaray matches are very important. We need to go out there and concentrate. I'm hoping that's how we'll play, and that we'll be smiling at the end of the day.
The mood in the camp was understandably relaxed. Players signed autographs and posed for photos, safe in the knowledge that they had won the title, not to mention the last 5 out of 6 games against their bitter rivals.
As we go into the game as champions, we're a little more relaxed, but at the same time we know what it means to play Galatasaray, and we know what it means to beat them. The fans demand it, and despite the natural relaxed atmosphere here, it will be a great game to play in and hopefully win.
Switch to Galatasaray and the mood was less buoyant. Still fighting for second place and a Champions League qualification spot, veteran striker and club legend Hakan Şükür was naturally wary about the prospect of entertaining the newly crowned champions.
First of all, we should congratulate them for being champions. Everyone there has put in a lot of effort throughout the season. But this is a one-off game. Whether they're champions or not, you can't view this as just an ordinary game. The results from these matches are important. Without thinking about anything else, we just have to go out and play, and try and win like our fans are expecting.
It was only a year earlier, in May 2006, that Galatasaray were enjoying their own success as champions. Their recent form in derby matches had been poor, and even a win this time against Fenerbahce wouldn't make up for missing out on the biggest prize of all.
I always told, like last year, we lost both of them, but we were champion. I say I would like to lose every time, every year, if we are champion. Now they are champion, and we really would like to win this game.
If those celebrations now seemed a distant memory, Galatasaray could content themselves at least with the fact that a derby win then could bring some joy to an otherwise unrewarding season.
It was always said that you could only be a true Galatasaray player when you had actually beaten Fenerbahce. And it was the same at Fenerbahce too. The same joy and excitement is felt there. When I was at Fenerbahce, things were going really badly. Board members were about to resign, the results were bad, but a victory at their ground made you forget everything.